This video will be dedicated to talking about the Iran War and my views on that. Um, so first of all, let's get the misconception out of the way. This is not going to be anything political, right? Even though there's a political aspect to war, right? There's always going to be a political aspect to war. But my view on this whole thing has absolutely nothing to do with politics, absolutely nothing to do. My choice of supporting or not supporting the president of the United States or supporting Israel or Palestine or whatever you libtards want to say. But instead of that, instead of over politicizing it, we're going to talk about why war is bad. And I know I'm playing a war game. But again, this is just a game. If this could have been me every day, IRL, this could have been me. This could be me, but it's not. Now, my stance on this is that you really shouldn't support either side of this war. You shouldn't support Iran. You shouldn't support the United States. Both have ulterior motives other than freeing the people or keeping their people oppressed. But I'd also say that there are some aspects of war that are good. I mean, some countries learn from it. I mean, Iran spent the last 30 to 20, I want to say 20 years learning, the tactics that America uses. Because, there was a war right next door under the false pretense of there being WMD there, I believe. That's a rocket. And there was no WMD. And as we all know, I'm going to say this has nothing to do with politics, but that was Obama. Now, why are we going back in there? I don't know. All right. All I know, all I can understand is that we have gone into a state where people have, I want to say, under simplified things. Come on, get it? Nope. Okay. But also on top of that, when speaking of war, right, we talked about the good parts of it, the technological, advancements a country could make by learning what happens when you don't have a certain technology, and how countries become more independent, become more self-dependent upon themselves. But on top of that, I'm going to add this very important factor here. There are bad parts to war. Again, I know that I'm playing a war game. There's a difference. It is a game, not an actual war. All right, people's lives aren't at stake. At the end of the day, my F-18 pilot in realistic, or my F-104A pilot in arcade, they respawn, right? People don't respawn. Now, I'm going to use War Thunder to compare to US because we're the only ones that have planes in the air, well, us and Israel. See, this pilot here, this F-18 pilot, all he boils down to is a line of code that has a camera attached to it, where I can look inside. I can't even interact with the cockpit. This is not Microsoft Flight Simulator or Digital Combat System. This is not DCS. All right, this is not Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay. Now, the 3 people that we did lose, I don't know if they're pilots or not. Actually, we're going to search that up. We're going to do some live research here, actually. Let's search it up actually. So, right, there were 3 Americans, all right, 3 U.S. troops, and 5 seriously wounded. This is 2 hours ago from ACRA. I don't know what these guys are. This is a whole new thing, right? 3 American service members have been killed, and 5 others seriously wounded on the military on the U.S. attacks on Iran. The military announced Saturday, making the first American casualties in a major offensive that the president, right? He's saying that this could likely lead to more losses in the coming weeks. Now, not giving me any information on who these were. All right, let's not care about their digital pilot right now. We're talking 3 real lives. Let's see. The names have not been publicly released. Let's see anything about their ranks, or not even ranks. I'm guessing this was either Army or Air Force, possibly Navy. I have no clue.
At work RN, but I'll pull up with my crew for your next stream. Add me up on Discord, Liz A. Coyer.
Okay, thank you. So these guys were part of a sustainment unit, right? They were stationing at the time of the incident. They were based in Kuwait. Now, the 3 were killed in a suspected Iranian drone strike targeting a U.S. base in Kuwait. Now, I don't know the names of these soldiers, not because I'm refusing to, all right, but for courtesy of the family, and also, plainly, I'm going to put it plainly that the name of these soldiers are being withheld by the Department of Defense for at least 24 hours until the notification of the next of kin is complete. These 3 are in the United States Army. These 3 most likely went through boot camp together. We're going to put it that way. All right, these guys, this is the horrors of war, right? These guys, they're way off in Kuwait, right? I don't know if it borders Iran or not, but I'm guessing they thought they were in the safe zone. So things were a bit more chill. Of course, they had a little bit of air defense. I'm hoping. Now, this is one thing that I believe that will positively come out of this in terms of the war as a whole. Right? Nothing positive comes from a death, unless it's Hitler or Saddam Hussein, or if it's just a bad person. Unless it's a bad person, nothing good is going to come out of that death. I'll even go as far as to say nothing good comes out of the death of a bad person as well. Like, everyone deserves to live. So, one thing that could happen is our air defenses, right? Or air defenses in general, because since drones are becoming the stealth technology, the new F-35, if you would say, that's Iran's version of the F-35 right now. And I'm going to tell you why, because its radar cross-section is so small. I've seen videos of them just flying over. They send them into Israel. They're flying them into Israel. They're flying them into Dubai. And air defense is just not doing anything about it. I'm going to say that one positive thing or one negative thing, depending on how you want to look at this, is that we're going to see air defenses either multiply or straight up, let's get into with formation here. F-16 has better radar, or we're gonna, get better radars. We're either gonna get, I don't remember what I said. We're either gonna get better radar, or we're gonna get a bunch of different radar, and we're just gonna shoot down every single thing that flies through. And I'm gonna tell you, if we do that, if we do shoot down everything that flies, we might shoot down our own F-35s. So again, the radar cross section of these, things, of these drones are so small. They're so small that even we're building them, right? When the country that has the F-35 is starting to build a similar style kind of drone, then it's good when we copy things, right? But at the same time, I would argue that, it's a bad thing, right? Because again, in the long term, right? In the long term, we're talking about lives of people that will, not could be. I'm not saying that could be. We're not going to be all nitty picky, all wow, wow, wow. I want to be all positive. We're not going to be positive about this. All right. In fact, I'm going to say it will. Result in the loss of life of whether that be one person or 500 people, right? These drones that we're building or copying, or however you want to say it, these are made. I'm going to put it frankly. These are the modern day kamikaze. They're literally called kamikaze drones. We call them one-way drones, right? It's not like the MQ-9 where, oh, you see it? It's just flying around in circles. It's not doing shit. No. All right. It's literally, you hear it. If you stop hearing it, then you're dead because it blew up on you. All right. These drones, they don't cut off before they hit you. They keep going. Right? They just keep going. That small motor in the back just keeps humming, just keeps buzzing. And that's the scary part. You don't know if you're okay or not. The only way that you know that you're okay is both of these drones, I'm assuming, use a similar sized or similar motor altogether. All you hear is right? That's how you know. When you hear you want that low tone, right? You want to hear that, but then the next one could go right onto you, and you're just gone. Or it could go and you just see an explosion, and that's when the sound stops. The sound stops when the explosion starts. That is the scary part of this. It's not like the V1 where, oh, if you stop hearing it, you're dead, or if you stop hearing it, you have time to seek shelter because things are about to blow up. No. It's like if you hear it, you pray that it's not coming for you, or you get the hell out of there. It's as simple as that. Now, if that is the horrors of war. Right? People used to joke around, oh, the simplest things can trigger PTSD. Oh, the simplest things can make a soldier go crazy. Well, now it's that. You can buy a $20 drone in the next 30 years, and this is the sad part. Right? You can buy a $10 Temu drone. Right? Quite frankly, you can purchase a $10 Temu drone, and you can trigger people with PTSD. That's how I'm gonna say it. Right? You could trigger people with PTSD by just flying your drone now. Because what? Two countries wanted a more autonomous way of waging war, of finding ways to kill each other. That's why. Right? That is the why. That is, quite frankly, the 100% why. All right? In the future, what I'm thinking is that phones will be next on the line. Phones. Phones will be able to trigger people with PTSD, and I'll tell you why. Because if I'm thinking, right, because I'm a human, right? I'm a human. I don't like thinking things like this, but I do. If I were a Russian soldier or a Ukrainian soldier and I saw a phone, you know what I would do? The first thing I would do is turn it on. I would want someone to find it. Right? But then the second is that I'd rig it to an explosive. Whether that be remote or a sensor explosion where it can sense the next person that touches it, or whenever someone's close enough, and it'll just blow up. Phone. The guy that just watched his friend die for picking up a phone or going near a phone, after they figured out that it was the phone that did it, that person will never look at phones the same way. That person will never be able to call his mother or grandparents from abroad or from a long distance, and that person would just be mortified. Any sensible person would be mortified, terrified of every phone. Right? You could say the positive of this is that the person on the phone will have better opportunity at socializing because he doesn't have a phone. But then how will this guy call his parent? How will this guy call his mother or his father? Without some form of fear. Right? He's not gonna. That F4 is going to get him, hopefully. But we're still going to trail it. That was a mistake. But, oh, and that there is a mistake I made there. But, again, I can respawn. The lesson in playing these games, right, the big takeaway I would say from playing War Thunder is learning that War Thunder is not real life. You can respawn in War Thunder. So it's funny when you die in War Thunder, right? But it's not funny when an actual F-16 pilot gets shot down, or an actual F-18 pilot gets shot down, or an actual air crash happens, like an actual crash happens somewhere because someone got nervous on the deck of a carrier, and now that's the loss of 5 different lives. You have one guy sucked into the engine of an F-18 that was taking off, and the F-18 in the water, and the pilot could not eject. Video games aren't real life. And I'd say that's the only reason why I play this game. It's not the satisfaction of the kill, or the adrenaline, or the premiums, or being able to tout, or just being with my friend. No, it's none of that. It's a lesson. It's a lesson for me. The people that actually have to go out and do this shit don't respawn when they get hit, when their tank gets blasted with a heat show, when their plane gets destroyed by a Russian radar tracking missile that doesn't alert the F-18. If you play War Thunder, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about the missile thing, right? It's not the Sukhoi 30 is annoying. No, it's the Sukhoi 30 is terrifying because it could come out of nowhere, and you're in vice versa. You're terrifying to the Sukhoi 30 because you could come out of nowhere. My take on this is that if world leaders put on their big boy pants and they actually fought over reasonable things without ulterior motives, right? My take on this is the world will be a lot better. I don't care if it's an American president, Donald J. Trump, or a Kamala Harris, or a Barack Obama, or an Adolf Hitler. I really don't care. If you put on your big boy pants and you fight over things that are only sensible, and you actually talk first, right? And yeah, I know you can tell me, Trump said this, Trump said that, Biden said this, Biden said that, Obama told Iran to stop, everyone told Iran to stop. At the end of the day, it's like World War II. World War II started only because people could not mind their businesses. Now, is Russia learning that lesson well? Yeah. Yeah, they are. Ukraine's allies, right? Now, we know that we took Manduro, right? We took him. We took Manduro. That wasn't a war. That was an operation. It's different. Okay, for the Sukhoi Speds out there, I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to put it bluntly. All right? We did what we said we'd do in 3 days, what Russia said they would do in 3 days, right? Because Russia's excuse for this whole thing for not ending the war is that they're too deep into it, in their 3-day special operation, blah, blah, blah. They can't do math, all right? When world leaders can't do math, that should be conservative. Right? So what Vladimirsky's here said was that the operation will take only 3 days. The operation, obviously, has lasted almost 3 years now. But they already got it. So, this is the horrors of war. Radar missiles, F-18 Hornet. This is the horror of war. You see, and now I'm almost out of stuff. And again, this realistic mode, this is like real life. Look at that. This isn't all willy-nilly. He's friendly, but I'm still locking onto him. The missile does not, quite frankly, a missile does not give a damn who you're firing at. If you're telling the missile to go somewhere, it'll go. Do you know why it will go? It's because it's a goddamn machine. That's why, quite frankly. It's a machine. Machines don't give a damn about human life, right? That's the unfortunate, harsh reality of things. That's everyone's life lesson. I'm gonna continue the silent. I'm gonna start the silent play. The name of this is Silent Play. But the dedication to this video, talk about topics in one single video, get it over with, because I'm not gonna milk war. I don't milk war. I only milk War Thunder. I only milk war video games. I don't milk a real war with real people dying, whether that be our enemies or not. Because nothing good is going to come from their deaths. What do you think is going through the head of an Iranian soldier right now, sitting in his base? And I want you to put yourself, before I go into the silent play, I want you to put yourself in his shoes. Constant strikes going around everywhere. Let's say that he's just at his house waiting for his orders because his leader's dead. He's pissed off, but he's terrified at the same time. We're all terrified, right? I put myself in the head of that soldier last night. You know what I was thinking? I'm going to tell you exactly what the hell I was thinking, right? Is the next missile going to hit me? Am I going to die if I fall asleep? When I wake up, will there be a new leader? Will I have orders to do? Will I have something to do? Will I be sent out to fight tomorrow? Those are the things that I thought. If you want to, same with politics. Put yourself in the head of the opposition. See their ways. See how they think. Think how you think that they would think, right? think. And if you're thinking about posting a video about the war, right? You're thinking about posting a video, oh, the war is good, or oh, the war is bad, which the war is bad. I want you to post videos saying that the war is bad, right? But in that same video, I don't want you to say, oh, it's bad because the US, or oh, it's bad because Israel, or oh, it's bad because Iran. No, it's just war is bad. Boom. That's it's simple. That's a 3-second video there, right? It shouldn't be explained to you shouldn't have to explain it to someone like a baby. Oh, war is bad because this happens, and then that happens. No, war is just bad. I want you to think tonight or during the day or throughout the day. I want you to give yourself a 24-hour thought process there. I want you to think like an Iranian soldier or someone in Iran trapped in a basement somewhere, or someone in Iran who didn't eat. If you're going to think about the person that didn't eat, don't eat. That's quite frankly how you do that. Now, I've seen already since the start of this war, and how many days has this war been going on? And there's that many videos on it. People milking war for money, for profit, for what? What's the purpose? I want you to think. Think about that. I'm not talking to one specific person or one specific group. I'm talking to anyone who comes across this video. Everyone who comes across this video, world leader, military background or not, doctorates, degree, I don't care how educated you think you are in global politics. This is my voice, and my voice will say goodbye for the rest of this for the rest of this silent play. But I just want you to think.